Good afternoon, Nigeria, and welcome to Product Review on Consumer TV. This is where we inform potential buyers about merit, drawbacks, and features of product. I am Abayomi Olugbemi. Please, all review on this program is not of critics, but based on transparent functionality about products in their various contexts. A perfume can evoke emotions, spark memories, and influence mood. Perfume plays a vital role in creating scents and bring joy, confidence, and comfort to people's lives. On previous edition of Product Review, we've reviewed Perfume and we had Mr. Abayomi Olugbemi on the program where he gave reviews about smart collections and seduction. And today we'll be having Mr. Abayomi Olugbemi Lambo join us virtually on the program. Mr. Abayomi is a perfumer and the CEO of Perfume Lambo Saints Design Nigeria Limited. The interesting part of the conversation is that Mr. Abayomi will be reviewing the perfume made by himself this afternoon. Before we bring him on board, it's so important to let you know that perfumes are the mastermind, perfumers, I beg your pardon, are the masterminds behind the fragrances we wear. The skilled artisans who blend essential oils, aroma compounds, and other ingredients to create unique scents that evoke emotions and memories. Perfumers are akin to musicians, combining notes to create a symphony of scents. They consider factors like fragrances and a whole lot of things with concentration levels and longevity. Also, perfumers draw inspiration from nature, art, literature, and personal experiences. They might be captivated by a specific flower scent or the warmth of a sunset, translating this feeling into fragrances. Today's product review, we are reviewing a Luxeon perfume from the Lambo Saints Design Limited. A Luxeon is an oriental vanilla automatic fragrance for men. It's very masculine and sophisticated with a touch of seduction. On the other hand, we will have Chocolate Rose, also a product of the Lambo Saints Design. A Chocolate Rose is a feminine scent inspired by the romantic note of chocolate and rose. Chocolate and rose are common gifts given to ladies on special romantic occasions. This perfume is both sweet and fresh with a obvious chocolate fragrance. It's a kind of a daytime perfume and also a romantic perfume, and it's very uplifting. Oh my God, this is very beautiful. Mr. Abayomi Lambo, good afternoon and thank you so much for joining us on the show again.
My pleasure.
All right, let's get on it. How has it been to be a perfumer? Did you go learn it in school, or how did you get this knowledge? And what inspired you to create these two perfume, Luxeon and Chocolate Rose?
Right. It's been wonderful being a perfumer because it's about creating products that make people happy, make people feel more romantic, more confident. It adds value to their lives. Scent is something it's part of everyday life. So it's part of their memories. You create a product that is actually part of someone's memory. So I definitely enjoy being part of that industry. Now, I think, like I mentioned some time ago, that the best way to go about it is that it's easier if you're going through learning through a science course. If you have a background in chemistry or physiology, pharmacy, that sort of thing, and then you find a reputable perfume school, a good perfume school that can take you through the rudiments of perfumery. That's the best way to go about it. Of course, if you don't have a science background, it might be a lot harder. Depending on the level at which you're coming in, but it might be a lot harder. So if you really want to go to the deep end of it, so it's been fun. It's been good. It's been rewarding. So what inspired me to create Luxeon? Luxeon is a perfume that I created out of a desire to have something that is both fresh and luxurious, as well as a very romantic, sort of seductive kind of scent. Something that you wear when you're in a certain mood. Because it's a very fresh scent, it's also something that you can wear every day, actually. But it's much more suited for evening wear. It swings a little bit towards that. And because it's also very warm. And it's something that you can really enjoy wearing. It's a beautiful scent. and the name is a marriage of two words: luxury and seduction. And so it's for men. It's actually created for men. Chocolate Rose was inspired by Valentine's Day. When people exchange gifts, especially they give chocolate and roses to the ladies that they like. So inspired by that, I went and sent those together to create something that, even though you're wearing it every day, makes you feel at that particular point in time. So that's the inspiration behind the scent. And of course, when you actually smell the perfume, it smells very uplifting, very refreshing kind of scent. Yeah,
All
that's the
right.
inspiration behind it.
All right. That's interesting. Can you tell us about the creative process behind each fragrance?
Right now, the creative process behind any perfume is actually similar to the creative process you find in art or maybe music. You're inspired, you are moved by an emotion, and then you go about creating something that would actually genuinely touch the hearts of people, be it through music, be it through perfume. Of course, it's just that in this case, there's a lot of chemistry and science involved, but it's still a creative process at the end of the day. So, the creative process behind Luxeon was to create something that was fresh. So, the top notes, that's the initial smell of the perfume, is very citrusy, very green. Has notes of green, notes in it, grass and citrus. So you can imagine how fresh that would be. And then that goes into a hot nose, a middle nose of aromatic notes, aromatic herbs, including thyme, funny enough. And that gives a very, very, very masculine feel to the perfume, and then the backdrop is, very strongly vanilla and amber, very warm notes. There's also coffee there, which also increases the luxurious, uh, sort of mysterious effect of the perfume. And then there are exotic woods at the back of the backdrop. So this creates a very, very sophisticated fragrance, very warm, a little bit evening-ish, but still fresh enough for you to wear during the daytime. Of course, it's for men. For Chocolate Rose, it was similar in the sense of the creative process, but the core, what we call the main accord in perfumery, is basically between chocolate and roses. A blend of both chocolate and rose scents. So this uh, when we create a perfume, there's a process we call John Carl's methodology, which is we test out. It's not just about the ingredients that go into the perfume, but also in what proportion and in what proportion to themselves. So we first of all test this, more of this, less of that, and then we add flesh to the perfume, and then we create many modifications which we go to the consumers, we test it, and then we do a consumer test. The results come back, and then we find out the one that most likely pleases everybody, and that's the one we adopt. So the kind of method was still done with both fragrances, and that's the kind of creative process behind each one. Yeah.
Interesting, Mr. Abayomi. I was about asking that about the recommendation of how to wear them. Let's look at the market sector. What set this perfume, these two perfume, apart from other perfume brands we have in the market?
Well, first of all, for any brand, for any perfume brand, a lot of perfume brands on the market, you know, um, some of them are what we call dupes. They're imitation fragrances, basically. So if someone brings imitation from, I don't know, Dubai, and then they bottle it and they call it whatever they want to call it. So this is a creative fragrance, as opposed to like just blending, just putting a dupe in a bottle. And so that's the first thing that makes it quite different. The second that makes it different is the creative process itself, that was created by someone. Even within the creative realm, what makes one perfume different from another is the brief and the creativity of the perfumer responsible for the perfume. So I think both of them might bear one or two one or two signatures from me, and that makes it different from a lot of fragrances that I didn't have any hand in creating. Of course, there's some fragrances out there that I actually did create, and so
Mm.
that's one way to look at it. Again, the third one is the quality of the raw materials we put into the fragrances themselves. We choose really high quality raw materials, and when possible, the best naturals to actually use in creating this perfume. So that would set it apart. If you smell Luxeon or chocolate rose, you'll instantly notice the difference in quality.
That's interesting. Let's look at the fragrance profile. How do the both perfumes, the Luxeon and the chocolate rose, differ in terms of fragrance?
Right. Okay. Luxury is for men. The most obvious difference. Uh, and so luxury smells much more masculine. More masculine than chocolate rose. Chocolate rose smells sweeter and definitely more feminine. Even though because of the chocolate note there, which you normally would look at as a unisex kind of smell, it still can be worn by a guy, but it's primarily um, a female fragrance. So that's one of the main differences. The olfactory profile, apart, I mean, apart from those ones, one is actually much more masculine and citrusy, and
Okay, let's go on a short break. We'll be right back. Thank you. It's the product review on Consumer TV.
Hey there, do you know in the world today, everyone is a consumer, and as consumers, we all have the right to be heard.
In Nigeria today, as a consumer, you have all right to product information, right to fair pricing, right to return goods, right to product labeling, right to fair dealings, and a lot more.
Well then, have you heard about the new media channel?
Consumer Hala TV.
Consumer Hala TV.
Consumer Hala TV.
At Consumer Hala TV, our goal is to inform and educate consumers in Nigeria with insightful news alongside development within the fast-paced world of consumers through well-researched, specialized, and analytical content.
Our vision at Consumer Hala TV is to create an engaging platform that provides right connections for meaningful brands in Nigeria, thus creating a more caring world for consumers where business thrive.
And guess what? Our Consumer Hala brand is the first consumer complaint resolution portal in Nigeria, powered by a 72-hour feedback mechanism. We offer consumer advocacy, informative talk shows, branding promotions, advertising, and lots more. Connect with us via our YouTube channel at Consumer Hala TV. Follow us on our Facebook page, Consumer Hala TV, our Instagram page, Consumer Hala TV, and do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscription is free. Consumer Hala TV. At Consumer Hala TV, you deserve to be heard.
At Consumer Hala TV, you deserve to be heard.
Right, thank you so much for still being there. And if you're just joining us, this is Product Review on Consumer Hala TV, where we inform consumers about drawbacks and merits of product. And on today's edition, we have a perfumer, Mr. Abayomi Lambo, and he joins us virtually on the program. Now, over to you now, Mr. Abayomi Lambo. What emotions or mood do you intend for each perfume to evoke?
right, the mood is luxury. It's luxury. It's sophistication and a bit of mystery. Something you wear in the evening. You're feeling very fresh, very relaxed, and it has an air of mystery, but very luxurious, very sophisticated. While chocolate rose is uplifting, a daytime scent, very lively, very uplifting, something that you wear in the morning, and you feel this this sense of joy when you smell it. Because amazingly, when you smell food notes in perfume, you tend to feel happy because it reminds you of something pleasant, which is of course food. Particularly in a pleasant activity. So it tends to make people feel very happy, when they smell what we call gourmand notes in perfumery, like sweet fruits or vanilla and things like that. And so when you smell chocolate, a mixture of chocolate and rose, you actually feel quite quite happy within yourself. Of course, there are other ingredients in it. There are other raw materials that also make one feel extremely uplifted and happy. So there's a slight difference in the mood. One is for women, and one makes you feel very happy just smelling it in the morning, kind of like a daytime boost or morning time boost, and the other one is more a luxurious, mysterious mood for the evening kind of way. Yeah.
I asked you that how did the two perfumes complement or contrast each other?
Okay, they complement or contrast themselves. Well, in the sense that one is for women, and you can, even though if you wear chocolate rose in the morning, it does wear throughout the day, and by evening time when you have more of the heavier note, it boosts in a different kind of way. Fragrances change over the duration of the time you're wearing. So they're complementary in the sense that one is for men and one is for women. If you decide to wear both, you can wear chocolate rose as a unisex fragrance. It's perfect for, say, office wear, or daytime wear, you know, sort of this uplifting sweet scent, not too dense, not too overwhelming, even though it diffuses, but perfect for a daytime kind of wear. While the other is a much more sophisticated fragrance for sort of evening time wear. There's some women that actually prefer to wear male fragrances, but so if you decide to wear Luxeon, for instance, you might actually wear it during the evening as opposed to wearing it, in the morning. Yeah.
And what are the key differences between Luxeon and Chocolate Rose in terms of the longevity and the projection? What are the key
So,
differences in terms of longevity and projection between these two perfumes?
well, yes, that Luxury is an eau perfume, so it's stronger. So it tends to last. It can last you, especially on your clothes. While it was an eau de toilette and lasts you the whole day, but you might not get the same length of the duration of the scent. If you spray it on fabrics, because of course one is an eau de toilette, which is chocolate rose, is lighter, while Luxury is an eau de perfume, which is much more stronger than, than chocolate rose.
Mr. Abayomi, it is important to ask you as a perfumer that how do you envision the target audience for each perfume, and in what settings or occasion would you recommend wearing each perfume?
Perfume. The target audience for Luxury is for men, and is for a matured man, more or less, something maybe over like 35 upwards. So it's a fresh scent. It's very sophisticated. Um, Depending on who you are and kind of person you are, it's something you can actually wear every day. Um, but it also fits a special occasion, like in an evening time, date night kind of perfume. It has the sophistication. It can carry that occasion through. So I would recommend it for that. Chocolate Rose has a wider demographic. In terms of it's for women above 25. So you can still feel youthful at 80 and still wear it. My mom at
Mm.
86 still wears chocolate rose anyway. So it has a wider demographic in that sense, and it's for women, and you can wear it at any time. But also, guys can also rock it if they feel like wearing it.
Okay, interesting. I believe your industry is all about art. How do you think the perfume will appeal to different personalities or style?
Or different personalities. Well, I think that um, obviously Luxeon would appeal much more to someone who is quite sophisticated and likes luxury, likes to enjoy life. Um, that sort of person, it definitely will appeal to a very confident person who likes to enjoy life and, wears expensive clothes, expensive wristwatches, that sort of thing, likes to give the impression of luxury. While chocolate rose for me is more of a mood thing. You wear it to like a pick me up. You smell it and you just want to feel happy. That's so. Basically, I would put chocolate rose will appeal to just about anyone that wants to pick me up. But luxury appeals much more to the kind of person you would call, a poser or I don't know, yeah, well, maybe not so much of a poser, but someone who definitely is very image conscious, an image conscious guy
Mm.
kind of person. Yes.
Okay, now let's compare the prices of those two products because you had a sole manufacturer. Which one is on
Right.
a higher side and which one falls on the line of affordability?
Chocolate rose is very affordable. It's 12,500 naira for a 50 ml spray, and it's pretty straightforward. It comes in a very nice bottle, so it's something that you can spray. Smells, you know, basically for the whole day. So it's 12,500 naira. The other one, Luxeon, is more expensive, even though kind of it's just relative because it's 100 ml eau de parfum, and it comes at 35,000 naira. You know, for the 100 ml. So it's actually it might look more expensive, but it's just slightly more expensive than because of course it comes in a bigger volume.
Interesting. And now let's talk about what natural or synthetic ingredient did you use in each perfume and why?
Why? Well, well, we can't give exactly the entire it contains main and there's rose, and it's the real chocolate is not used in this particular case. It's actually more for a chocolate, what we call a nature identical molecule. It's the same molecule that gives chocolate its smell, but we did not have to extract it from chocolate, which makes it it's created in a lab, which makes of course the fragrance much more affordable and it's cheaper to use. So that's what makes it different. Those are some of the things in both chocolate rose and I mean chocolate is there definitely, and then there's also the rose. Then there's ylang ylang, and then there's the vanilla, and to kind of create a fragrance that is extremely uplifting. That when you smell it, just makes you feel very happy. So that's different from say Luxury that has notes of citrus. There's lemongrass. There's also some other types of grasses there. And there's thyme, the same thyme that we cook in. There's what we call the aromatic accord, which has lavender, thyme, and some other raw materials in it, which I don't want to mention. But you get that,
Mm.
and it will instantly remind you of some of the classic fragrances in masculine perfumery, like Cool Water, like Paco Rabanne, like Azaro, like Tuscany. Those kind of fragrances contain what is known as an aromatic, what do
Uh,
you call it, an aromatic
uh,
accord. Yeah.
I think I will come for a personal class where you tutor me about all these fragrances, because I want to always keep on mentioning all these fragrances, and now it's important to, let's talk about this. Looking at the situation and the reality of the economy, how have you been
Yeah.
scaling through the business line? You being a seasoned entrepreneur.
Right. Well, first of all, our business is quite wide. We don't deal with body perfume alone. We deal with fragrances that are used in creams and soaps. We do air care fragrances. We do reed oils for atmospheric scenting. We do fragrances for room. We do room sprays. So the reach is very wide. That's first.
Mm,
So there's a diversification in terms of what we're offering. We do training. We do consultancy. So there's a wide range there. When it comes to the body perfume, it's not, of course, naturally when an economy is in the kind of shape that Nigeria is in right now, people might prioritize. Some people might, prioritize food and things like that. But because fragrance makes you feel good about yourself, in a climate where people have enough things to feel sad about, they still will turn to fragrance anyway. And because of the foreign exchange, a lot of people have sort of realized that there are local brands like us that do very, very good fragrances at an affordable price. They get the same quality for 35,000 naira that I might be spending 100,000 naira on if the fragrance was imported and is in the store. So in that case, it has helped us to sort of let's say, do well, relatively well in this kind of economy. You know, in
mm.
this kind of
All right. I was about asking you that do you tutor people for training? Do people come to your end over there to train? And you made mention of that. Now, to round things up, looking at the industry, your industry, in a decade to this time, what can you say about the perfume industry, starting from your own personal data, you being a
yeah.
perfumer?
Well, I see it really blooming because I mean I can tell you that a lot of people have shown interest in it, and a lot of people are going into it. My only concern, of course, is that there are a lot of charlatans out there as well who are not doing the right thing. But I can see a lot more sanity, a lot more interest, and I can see it growing. Yes, there might be challenges, but I can see the industry kind of growing and us even taking it internationally. Of course, there are, we already have international exposure, but I can see much more of that, coming in. People being more interested because we have a lot of raw materials here that are locally grown that we can showcase to the world.
Mm. Right, that's a very interesting one to build on the program. Mr. Abayomi Olugbemi Lambo, seasoned perfumer, CEO of Perfume Lambo Scent Design Nigeria Limited. Thank you so much for your time on the program.
Thank you so much. Thank you for bringing me on.
Thank you so much. Please do well to enjoy the rest of your day.
All right, and you too. Thank you so much.
All right, bye. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. Thank you so much for joining us on the conversation. Now we need to round things up. Well, that was a very beautiful, insightful one, I must say. Thank you so much, Mr. Abayomi Olugbemi Lambo, the CEO of Lambo Scent Design Perfume. Thank you so much for joining us on the conversation. I mean, you've really spoken so well. The Luxeon is a masculine product, while the chocolate rose is a feminine product, and the chocolate is being sold is to set the price, while the masculine is set the price as well. And he said a whole lot of things that has to do with perfume, and even citing the future of the perfume industry. A decade to this time, gospel allies, we can't wait to see what has been old and what has become the industry. And now we have to round things up on the conversation on product review. Please note, all review and expression of opinion does not have any connection to at all to do with Consumer Ala TV, but it's that of our guest on the program. I am Abayomi Olugbemi. Please stay with us and do well to enjoy the rest of your day.